You will never meet your true soulmate if you haven't faced the deepest wound you are still trying to hide. Not because the universe is cruel, but because soul love never steps into the places where your heart is still broken and you dare not touch. Have you ever felt like you met the right person, a strong attraction, an inexplicable connection, but then everything fell apart in the most bitter way? And you wondered, why does something as sacred as a soulmate cause you so much pain? The secret is, they might just be a mirror, not a companion. And you attracted them not with love, but with the frequency of the bleeding wound inside. You are using a mind that longs for healing, but the energy signals lack, cling, and fear. That's not an invitation for a soulmate. It's a map guiding souls to activate you, not to embrace you. You don't need another person to complete you. You need yourself to become whole, so that when your soulmate appears, you can recognize them not because you need them, but because both of you stand at the same frequency of awakening. The universe does not operate on words or promises, but on the deep vibrations beneath everything you think you desire. And if you still haven't seen that person, it might not be because they haven't arrived. It's because you haven't shone brightly enough to recognize them. There is a wound lying dormant within you, a memory that has never been allowed to breathe, a quiet belief that you are not worthy of being loved completely, not worthy of being chosen without having to strive. And every time you long for a soulmate, that wound sends out a message. I fear being left behind. I need someone to prove my worth. Those signals cannot summon pure love. They only attract lessons through people who come and go, activate and disappear, shattering you and then forcing you to piece yourself back together. So the question is no longer how to meet a soulmate. The real question is, what wounds am I still hiding that I haven't dared to look at? And when you dare to look, dare to sit with the pain without running away, dare to forgive yourself for once believing you were unworthy of love, that's when your frequency begins to change. No longer emanating from scarcity, but from acceptance. No longer from a yearning for salvation, but from a serene completeness. It is precisely at that moment, when you no longer seek, that your soulmate will find you, not with noise, not with drama, but like a natural flow of the universe responding to a soul that has healed itself. And you will realize that person was never the missing piece. They were merely a reflection of the love you have learned to give to yourself. You think you are loving with your heart, but in reality, you are loving with the fragments that have never been healed. Everything you go through, failed relationships, fleeting vibrations that then shatter, are not punishments, but mirrors reflecting the frequency you are unconsciously emitting. And the shocking thing is, you don't consciously choose those people. They come by an attraction hidden beneath your thoughts, a previously unilluminated energy. If within you still exists the belief that you must strive to be loved, you will unconsciously attract souls to confirm that belief. They will make you fall into a loop, giving too much, trying to hold on, sacrificing yourself to be seen, and in the end, being abandoned again. Not because you are inadequate, but because your energy is attracting the wrong people. The universe doesn't listen to what you say, but to the emotional essence you carry every day. Every time you feel lack, fear, loneliness, it becomes a broadcasting signal. And those who catch that wave are not true soulmates, but rather people who come to push you into the process of purification. They are the catalyst for you to face yourself. They come not to love you, but to make you hurt so you can no longer avoid the old wounds. And you will find yourself repeating the same story, an intense connection, a burning hope, then a collapse that makes you feel completely shattered. But deep within each of those breakups, there is a secret invitation. Turn inward, stop searching outward, because what you truly lack is never someone else, but yourself. You are not lonely because there is no one beside you. You are lonely because you have been away from yourself for too long. And that hidden wound, often sown from childhood, from memories you thought you had forgotten, still silently controls all your relationships. It could be the feeling of being rejected, ignored, or loved conditionally. No matter how it manifests, it all boils down to a single message: I am not enough. And when you believe that you are not enough, you will seek someone to fill that void. But a true soulmate is not someone to fill the void. They are the one who comes when you are no longer empty. So every wrong relationship is not a failure, but rather a subtle lesson from the universe, helping you peel off each layer of masks, each layer of defenses, until only your true self remains. From there, your frequency begins to change, no longer emanating from need, but from presence. No longer calling someone to love you, but inviting someone to share the love you have built within yourself. And that's when the soulmate is truly allowed to step in, not to complete you, but to walk with you, without dependency, without possession, only freedom and resonance. The shocking truth is, not everyone who makes you feel deeply is your soulmate, and not every soulmate is destined to stay. There are souls you think are destined, but they are just a flame guiding you back to yourself, not to walk the entire journey with you. The biggest misconception in spiritual awakening is believing that a soulmate always means long-lasting happiness. But the universe doesn't care about convenience, it only cares about evolution. So the person who causes you the most pain might be the one your soul promised to meet, to trigger the process of inner transformation. They come like a lightning bolt, awakening the soul memories you thought you had forgotten. You don't understand why you are drawn to them, can't explain why your heart races when they are near, why just their gaze makes all your defenses crumble. But then, after all, they disappeared, and you collapse, bewildered, falling into a suffocating emptiness. That's not a punishment, it's a ritual, a disguised beginning. Because only when your heart shatters do you have to reach the deepest layer of your being, where there is nothing left to cling to but your own light. You once thought a soulmate was someone who came to love you unconditionally, but they often come to teach you the final lesson, to love yourself completely, even when no one else does. You think you are looking for someone to move forward together, but the universe is trying to make you remember, you have walked alone through countless lifetimes, and this time too, until you are strong enough not to need anyone's support anymore. Only then can the right person appear. And perhaps the biggest shock is this: a soulmate is not one person, it is a frequency, a rare resonance that doesn't come from effort, but from complete presence. If you are still playing a role, if you still need to be recognized, if you haven't dared to look straight into the dark parts of yourself, then you haven't emitted that frequency yet. And the universe doesn't send the wrong people to you. It only sends the most accurate reflections. A soulmate is not someone who makes you forget the pain, but someone who makes you no longer fear it. They don't come to make you perfect, but to illuminate the parts of you that you were once ashamed of, once hidden, once hated. They will see everything, and they won't leave. But before they can show up, you have to learn how to stop abandoning yourself. Because as long as you refuse to sit still with your pain, you will continue to attract people who come and go, trigger and abandon, awaken and disappear. And you will repeat the old question, why does love always hurt me? But if you have the courage to stop, delve deep within, and listen to the whispers of your soul through every crack, you will hear the answer. Because you are denying yourself, and true love will never step into a place that hasn't learned how to welcome it. You don't need to find a soulmate. You need to become the being that your soulmate can recognize immediately among millions of lost frequencies. The hidden secret does not lie in alluring rituals or love spells, but in the frequency you emit every day, even in silence. And the first thing you need to do is not to find the right person, but to cleanse the energy space within you so that another soul can step in without being hurt by the wounds you haven't healed. So where do we start? Let's start with what you always overlook. Your lifestyle is a spiritual ritual. The way you sleep, the way you eat, the way you breathe, the way you converse with yourself in silence, all of it is a declaration to the universe that I deserve to be deeply loved. When you don't get enough sleep, When you starve your body with industrial food and your mind with toxic news, you are signaling that you are not yet ready for a pure love. Soulmates do not seek out chaotic frequencies. They only listen to the deep silence within, where you return, where you sit with the sadness without rushing to escape. Observation is the first gateway. Every time you react because someone doesn't reply to your message, every time you find yourself lost in thoughts about that person, you are being invited to look within yourself, not to judge, but to see. What are you longing for? Is it the feeling of being recognized? Is it the fear of being forgotten? When you can see every emotional reaction as a reminder, not a failure, you are stepping into the zone where a true soulmate can truly reach you. But don't stop at awareness. Small daily actions are the physical arms of the soul. Create a quiet space every morning just to listen to your own breath. Walk under the sunlight without holding your phone. Write in your journal not to control, but to have a dialogue with yourself. Eat things that make your body feel alive, not because they are healthy, but because you deserve pure energy to love and be loved. Stop chasing the ideal standard and start living like the person you want to meet has lived. If you want a gentle love, don't be aggressive with yourself. If you want someone to be honest, stop wearing a mask in social relationships. If you want someone to understand you, learn to sit with yourself when you feel no one understands you. Because the universe doesn't send you what you want, it sends you an exact replica of the frequency you are becoming. And the noteworthy thing is, soulmates are not attracted to perfection. They are drawn to authenticity. Not when you are fine, but when you dare to admit, I am learning how to be fine. It's not when you no longer have wounds, but when you no longer try to hide those wounds. Healing is not about erasing the past. It is learning to love yourself even the most painful chapters in the story. And from there, you will radiate something pure, unimitable, unpretendable. And that is the light that your soulmate will recognize. No need to search, no need to force yourself. Just be present, just be honest, just come back to being yourself, completely.
Your soul has always known. Before you learned how to write your name, before you fell in love for the first time, even before you stepped into this body, there was a secret frequency weaving the thread of connection between you and someone, a memory of the heart that still quietly remembers. That is not blind fate. It is a pact between two souls, that at the right moment, when both are still enough to hear the call, brave enough to break the old molds, you will recognize each other. Not by sight, but by energy. Not through words, but through a profound silence. But this is something the universe won't tell you easily. If you continue to live in a half-awake, half-asleep state, if you continue to let pain guide you through every choice, if you keep imprisoning yourself in the ideal image of a perfect person, then you will pass by your soulmate without even knowing. The issue is not about when they will appear, but about whether you are clear enough to recognize them. That's why this journey requires unwavering commitment to oneself. Look deep into the mirror and ask, am I living as a soul with love or just an ego trying to fill the emptiness? Do you dare to sit with loneliness without running to others for comfort? Can you love without possessing, let go without resentment, give without expecting anything in return? Soulmate is not the one who heals you. They are the ones who make you face the unhealed parts and stand there, not leaving. They are the mirror reflecting the most sacred and also the most vulnerable part of you. And you will feel both deeply touched and tremble with the fear of losing yourself. That's the moment you have to choose. Retreat into the familiar safety or open your heart to step into the profound transformation that only true love can bring. And if you ask, how can I be sure they are my soulmate? The universe will smile and whisper. You won't know with your mind. You will feel it in every cell. Your body will feel lighter. The defenses will melt away.
and you will no longer need someone to fill you up. You will only want to expand with them. But before you can touch that person, you must learn not to fear emptiness. You must clear away the remnants of past relationships, not just in your heart, but in your consciousness. You must be still enough to listen to the space between thoughts, vivid enough to recognize who makes your soul more authentic. And then one day, without warning, without bright banners, without special lights, you will meet them. Maybe at a small cafe, in a fleeting glance, or amidst an everyday moment so ordinary that no one would expect it. But within you, a profound silence will resonate, as if time has stopped and the entire universe is nodding in agreement. And by that time, you will understand. All the things you once thought were the wrong person were actually lessons for you to grow, to learn how to love without losing yourself. So the question is no longer where are they, but rather, have you returned close enough to your own soul for them to recognize you? This is the moment for you to stop procrastinating. It's time for you to stop searching for someone else and start becoming yourself at your purest level. Love doesn't need to be summoned. It just needs you to stop holding it back.